Good evening, folks. Welcome back to another Monday night live stream that we haven't had for a few weeks. How the heck is everybody? I hope you're all very well. I've missed you all. We've not had a chance to chat for a little while. What's everybody been up to? What are you all up to tonight? Who's kind of just sitting there chilling with a nice little beverage of choice? Who's got the paint out? Who's been playing games while I've been away? It feels like it's been months, never mind 2 weeks. But yes, I am back. I don't know if you can tell, I am absolutely full of cold. I seem to have developed some kind of sort of cold or flu on return. When I was flying back, I started to get a little bit of snivels on the plane. I could feel my kind of nose running, and it's developed into some kind of cold. I've been testing every day, so I haven't got COVID. I'm okay there, but I feel all right, other than the fact that I sound like I'm absolutely kind of full of cold. So I apologise if I sound a bit bunged up tonight. I will battle on through it. We'll see how I feel as the night goes on, but hopefully we should be able to kind of plough on through. So let's have a look and see who we've got in the chat tonight. Super Pumpkin Man, nice and early. Hello to you, mate. How you doing? Lord Maiden as well. Hello, Ian. Nice to see you as well. Simon Dave said he's looking forward to this. We've got Coffee and Pistachios. Hello, Coffee. How you doing, mate? Blizzard says Hiddly ho, BlackJack and Roonies. I bet you heard that in a Ned Flanders voice. If I was feeling more up to it, mate, I might have even attempted it. Spunky Taz says, why are you buggers? Good evening to you, mate. Scott Webster says, had to tune in for the exciting announcement. We'll get to that later on, mate. Major Tom, hello, Ed. How are you? Type 40 Tardis is in as well, saying, hello, gang. VJ, good morning to you, sir. Hope you're fitting well. Ian saying that he's finished his overdrive models. Nice work, mate. I look forward to seeing them. Christian, hello fella, how are you doing, mate? Nice to see you in. Thank you for moderating the chat again tonight. Hopefully we don't get the usual kind of battering of spam bots. Tracy Brain Drain, hello to you, buddy. Colin Wakeling, good evening. Yoakum, hello to you as well. Wayne Hayward says, hope everyone's well. John Estel, good evening, sir. He said he hopes it's all good for everyone. He looks forward to seeing all your work. Yes, for those that didn't notice from the thumbnail, today is the last Monday of the month. So we will be looking at everyone's live stream stuff. Everyone's August painting challenge stuff tonight. So yes, we'll be having a look at that. VJ said he's missed that music. RG, good evening to you, mate. He says he's got to do a taxi run later. It'll be here on the catch up, mate. You'll be able to watch it back later as well. Jez, good evening to you, mate, as well. Nice to see you. He said it's an Andysaurus Rex, the lesser spotted one, mate. I think it will be. VJ says green tea this morning. I've got the green tea now as well, mate. I haven't got any of the. I normally have some kind of lemon and ginger tea as well, but I seem to have run out of that, so I'm on the green tea at the moment. And I've got my water at hand as well to try and keep me going. But I feel physically fine. Like I'm not ill or anything, but I just feel like really sinusy and stuff. So we'll see how we get on it. Andrew says, am I going to get monkeypox watching this stream? Well, I haven't started eating bananas, mate, and I haven't had any kind of sort of feeling that I need to climb trees, so I'm sure you're all right. Sumberlin, good evening to you. He says, back from the holidays, he's working on some terrain pieces and trees for fantasy settings like Rangers of Shadow Deep. Speaking of Rangers of Shadow Deep, I hope you all saw the interview last week. Was it last week, week before, with Mr. Joseph McCulloch? It was really fun having a chat with him. We sat and chatted for quite some time, and I tried to kind of condense the best I could, condense it down to a usable kind of hour-long video, because we did chat for quite some time. I could have sat and chat to Joe all day. He was a really nice guy to chat to, and we'll definitely try and get back together, I think, at some point. Maybe when he's got something new out and stuff, and something maybe new to talk about. But I like those kind of interviews where you're not like trying to I'm not trying to promote his games, for example. I'm not trying to promote a new product. I'm just chatting with interesting people, and I always enjoy those interviews more. I feel like when somebody's got something new, you end up having to talk about that product, because that's why they're doing the rounds, that's why they're talking to all the channels, and you don't get to find out about the person so much. You end up talking about the products, and I find it, especially when somebody's like a talented writer, for example, I like to know their opinions and their feelings on stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I hope you lot did as well. Let's have a look here. Where are we up to? Mark Long, good evening to you, mate. Hope you're doing well. J-Bot said, is there a better way to end a bank holiday weekend than a BlackJack Legacy livestream? I haven't experienced a bank holiday weekend, mate. As soon as I go back on Friday, kind of sorted, like, you know, when you unpack the cases and you start doing the washing and that kind of stuff, especially after being away for 2 weeks. So Friday was a bit of a write-off. And we had a really early flight as well coming home on Friday, so I'd been up at like sort of 2-3 o'clock in the morning to get up and get ready for the flight. So it was a bit of a Friday was a bit of a write-off, but Saturday, Sunday, and today, I've been working. Basically, I've got a pile of stuff to catch up on that I wanted to kind of start getting the ball rolling again. I've got loads of stuff on this week, so yeah, there's been no bank holiday for me, mate. Chuck and Deb Taylor, good evening to you. She's listening while running errands for work. Happy greetings from Oregon. Good, what is it, afternoon? I think it's afternoon for you. Good afternoon or good morning. Glass Half Dead, hello mate, how you doing? I've literally just saw your pictures on the God Tier group, the God Tier minis you've been painting. I actually quite like what you've done with them, mate. I like the fact that you've kind of kept their basic colours, but, you know, like sort of turned it up a notch. So yeah, good work, mate. Yoakum saying he's got to find a time when he can play a Blitzball as well with VJ. Yes, I'm sure we'll see some of that. Musings of a gluten-free beard. Good evening to you, mate. How you doing? Type 40 Todd said he's chilling at work, assembling some Rumble Slam. Sounds like my kind of job. Colin Mack, good evening to you as well, buddy. How are you doing? Where are we up to here? That just seems to have jumped off my screen. Let me get this. Oh, Glass Off Dead saying more God Tier content anytime soonish. I'm just starting. The plan is, mate, I think the best way I can kind of kick it off again will probably be when the next release comes out. So we've got Lily coming in September, I believe. So Lily should be coming out soon. I think that's probably a good time for me to dive back into it. They release a new champion every 3 months, and it's a hard one because it's one of those games where it doesn't have a massive online audience, but the game is fantastic and I really do enjoy it. So it's that balance between talking about it when it's a bit more wide to maybe an audience that's not massively like aware of the game or something like that, at the same time as trying to make some interesting content. So yeah, I think when Lily comes out, that might be the next time I do some stuff, mate. Tony Howell, good evening, buddy. How you doing? Andrew Fairbanks saying is the Kill Team guy. If you've not seen the stuff that Andrew does, he does a number of different game systems and has multiple different channels. So please do check them out. Mighty Dice says, evening all, good evening to you. Simon Dave said he's looking forward to seeing what everyone submitted. There's been a few sort of less bits and pieces today of this month, but I guess everybody like me has been on holiday. People have got their kids off school and all that kind of stuff, so this month is always a bit of a kind of like a sort of like a less productive month. The weather's been nice, people haven't been cooped up inside, they want to get out and get a bit of sunshine. So yeah, it's a quieter one this month, but no less very well supported. Yeah, Andrew saying it did put Firefight in the thumbnail, so more likely that, yeah. I will be talking about something about Firefight tonight. Simon Day saying the interview was great, really interesting. Thank you very much. And Jess says, McCulloch is a legend. Great interview. How was your holiday? Holiday was pretty chilled, mate, to be fair. There was me and my wife and our little boy. We had 2 weeks away, like kind of in the middle week of the 2 weeks, if you like. My wife's sister and her husband and their 2 children came over and were in the same area but didn't stay at the same hotel or anything. So we kind of met up with them for some meals and had some days with them and stuff like that. So it was quite nice. There wasn't just us 3 kind of together. It kind of broke the week up a little bit. There was someone for our little one to play with, that kind of stuff. Me and my brother-in-law went out on the Saturday night to watch the AJ and Usyk boxing match. Had a few beers because it was like we were in there like kind of Spain. They were an hour ahead, so the fight didn't actually start until midnight. So it ended up being quite a long, boozy evening and early morning. So it was quite a good night out. So yes, it made a nice little mix of a holiday. Thank you very much. Andrew says, need to say about interviewing Vince Ventrella or Uncle Adam. Something tells me Uncle Adam might not be that interested in being interviewed by me. I don't think he's one of my biggest fans. He seems to kind of have taken a bit of a dislike. I don't know why, but that seems to be the case. Clyde Dashing, hello to you, Clyde. How you doing, my friend? He says, got the plague early in the month, been fighting it since, right off a month. I've been testing because I have to go somewhere on Wednesday. And I've been testing to make sure I don't have anything that I can kind of pass on or anything like that, and everything's coming up negative. I'm absolutely fine. I just think I've picked up a bit of a cold, a bit of a bug or something like that. Let's have a little look. I'm scrolling down here. Colin Max, good. Archie says, isn't it always the way, having to work hard before a holiday and work even harder when you get back? That's one kind of downside of working for yourself, is while you try and have a break, nobody's doing any work for you while you're away. So, and I intentionally tried to have a proper break this time, because past times when I've been away on holiday, I've still been kind of sort of doing stuff and things like that. And I promised my wife I was going to try and have a no mobile phone kind of hanging around. I stuck to it pretty much for the 2 weeks. I did some days kind of take it to the pool and have my headphones in to listen to like audiobooks and stuff. And I listened to some podcasts, and I did kind of sort of check in on a couple of bits and pieces. But I didn't like sort of, in the past I've took laptops and kind of done editing and kind of wrote scripts and that kind of stuff, but I didn't this time. Luke Pryor, hello mate, how you doing? He said he wished he had a chance to get an entry in, but he was in France too much and didn't have the time. Looking forward to seeing the entries. Yeah, obviously there's been a lot of folks of basically similar things these few months, so I didn't expect otherwise. Peter Stockdale, good evening mate. David Warren, hello to you as well. He says just bought Marvel Crisis Protocol starter. Very good starter box it is too, and he's looking forward to getting into a smaller model count skirmish game. Yeah, it's smaller model count. It is a smaller model count game. I kind of dove in with both feet and both arms, and I don't have a small amount of models for that game, shall we say. Yeah, Andrew saying fully aware of the trade-off for interest to content ratios. Yeah, it's a bit of a funny one, mate. I mean, I've always said I try to make content about stuff I'm interested in, but in saying that, like, there are some games. We were chatting about this in the Patreon chat a couple of days ago. For example, like things for dystopian wars, for example, something that I'm reasonably interested in. Have been some of my worst performing videos, like by an absolute country mile. And I know no matter how much I enjoy doing them, they almost don't even justify the time it takes to kind of get the camera out in not meaning kind of in a bit of a weird way, but just like if I'm going to spend the time making something, there's other stuff I know I will still enjoy and will be better received. So there's a real fine balance to it. At the minute, I'm just trying to stick to stuff that I'm enjoying, really, and as long as I'm not kind of running out of content, the enjoyment I think is trumping the views at the minute. So I will definitely get back to God tier. I just think at the minute it's, you almost need to ride a little bit of a wave with those kind of things, where if I make a God tier video today, for example, there hasn't really been any talk about it for a few months, really. I know if the next one I do is around the release of Lily, at least there's a little bit of a buzz around at that point in time, for example. Where are we up to here? Ian says he struggled with painting bits this month. I tell you what, mate, you've done plenty of stuff if that's the case. Jez is saying that things have been mental with work and stuff. Musings of a gluten-free basis. How do you think current financial situation will impact the hobby community? Do you think GW will be able to sustain their release bombardment? I think GW will be absolutely fine. I think people who consistently buy lots of GW product will still buy lots of GW product. I think it's the other companies that may well find that they feel the pinch a little bit more, because I think everybody that's into our hobby and people that buy stuff have a finite amount of money to spend each month, and I think some people kind of like sort of spread their money around. They buy starter boxes for games that they might not get to because they like a few of the models and that kind of stuff. But I think if people's monthly budget, for example, is starting to be squeezed a little bit through all of the other reasons, they might try and focus down on the thing that they can maybe get the best bang for buck, and that might be if they say, well, if I buy GW stuff, I'll get more games of it. So I worry a little bit that everybody outside of GW might feel the pinch a little bit. I think GW is kind of big enough to kind of ride over that a little bit. The only thing they've got to worry about, really, I think, is the fact that their prices are going up because the cost of manufacture is going up. Clyde, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Really do appreciate the donation. Thank you for your support. So yeah, I think if their prices keep creeping up because manufacturing costs are creeping up, and in turn everybody else's costs are creeping up, that might be the point when they start to kind of to feel it a little bit. But I think in the short term, I think they'll be fine. I think it's one of those things where it comes to hobbies, like, it's weird. Like, people might, for example, if you've got less money every month, as everybody has now, regardless of how much money you earn or you have or don't have, everybody's got less money in their pocket now because of things like fuel bills and energy bills. Things like nights out, restaurants, takeaways, that kind of stuff seems to be the stuff that people initially kind of pull back on a little bit. Maybe more what you would class as kind of luxury or frivolous kind of entertainment type stuff. Maybe trips to the cinema, not going to the pub, maybe kind of cutting back on the, maybe you don't buy fancy wine, you buy a little bit cheaper wine or something like that. I don't know what your drinking habits are like. But I think things like hobby, people see that there's an inherent value in, I buy this thing and then I get lots of time to build and paint and play and all of that kind of stuff. So I think almost hobby can sometimes be one of the, other than kind of like food and looking after kids and that kind of stuff, it's one of the last things that you start to kind of pull back on, because I think like hobby is almost that, like if things are a bit rough, if things are a bit tough at home and stuff like that, like when financially, I think hobby sometimes is the thing that you need to do even more of. If you're not going out, you're probably stuck at home, so your hobby sort of becomes more important to you. So I think there's a bit of a trade-off there. Just my thoughts, could be completely wrong, but I think that's my kind of my opinion, I think. Let's have a little look here, because that's jumping up. Where are we up to here? Zingbo, hello to you, mate. How you doing? VJ saying, although you and Adam might disagree on some stuff, I can assure you there's no personal dislike there. No, I don't think it's like, sorry if that's the way it came across, that's not what I mean. I just mean that, like, I don't think he'd be that interested in kind of sitting having a conversation. We don't always agree on stuff, and I think there's maybe some misunderstanding there as well. I don't think we're that dissimilar, if I'm being perfectly honest. But yeah, I don't think he's that interested in doing an interview at any point. Scott Latham, hello to you, mate. Andrew saying, I got LASIK a week ago. I've got to try and remember what that is now. No, I don't know what it is. Still didn't get a challenge done. As I said in the chat, if I really wanted to have gotten it done, I would have been done years ago. Yeah. Andrew saying, for sure, got to churn the GW handle so you can do the passion project in between. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of stayed away from the GW stuff for quite some time now, purely because I just don't enjoy it. I don't really play the games. I'd be absolutely lying, and I'd be kidding myself, and I'd be kidding everybody else if I thought I was excited about GW stuff. It's just, I didn't grow up on GW stuff. I got into gaming much later. I got into gaming through other games, and the GW stuff, it doesn't, like, I don't have those kind of nostalgia or rose-tinted glasses or that kind of sort of feeling about those games. So even now, I've kind of pulled away from that kind of stuff. Will I put them into titles and that kind of stuff? Will I compare stuff? Absolutely, when I think it's relevant. But and if something comes out I'm hugely interested in, I will definitely talk about it. But I feel my time of GW stuff's probably behind me, I think. Clyde says, always willing to listen to enthusiastic video on smaller games than a video that's meant for mass appeal, but there's no heart in it. Why I'm here. Thank you, mate. David says, there's some BlackJack tabletop means beef. That's news to me. No, there's no beef at all, mate. There was I think there was a bit of crossed wires a while ago. I made a video about miniature agnostic games that I think Adam maybe misunderstood and maybe thought I was having a dig at miniature agnostic games, which just happened to coincide with the time when he was releasing Reign of, was it Reign in Hell, I think it is, and that wasn't the case. I think it was just a bit of cross wires, but no, there's absolutely no beef, mate. VJ saying he had a great productive month, finally finished 4 Monpok monsters. That's been blocking him, feeling he has his mojo back. That's sometimes, mate, you just need to do that. I've not really picked up a brush in quite some time, I'll be absolutely honest. With things like holidays, I was doing some work prior to holiday, something I'm going to be talking about tonight. I've been doing some prep work on loads of things in the background that you've not seen yet. That's been taking up my time, and they haven't been painting. I need to get back to doing some painting, to be fair. Mighty Dice says, on the flip side, people might look at more quality of minis rather than GW. I think, hello Mighty Dice, by the way, I think people generally think that GW stuff is quality. And I'm not, like, for all I've just said that I'm not really into their games and stuff, the quality of their minis is, it can't be faulted, really. Aesthetically, they might not be for everyone, but I wouldn't say you can really kind of say that they're bad quality. I think they're as good as, if not the best quality, certainly plastic miniatures on the market, I would say. Other people are catching up, and other people have got some good quality miniatures. But I think GW is kind of the benchmark, and I think it's unfair to say otherwise. John saying, good to know there are gluten-free beers I can eat. Let's have a little look. Where was this one? Christian sharing the link there for the Patreon. Thank you very much, mate. There has been, yeah, he's saying don't sign up till Thursday. That is absolutely true. If you sign up tonight, it will take the payment, and then it will take a payment again on the 1st of the month. So I would love you to support me, but I would also like you to save your money and support me from Thursday. So yes, thank you, Christian. That's what keeps the lights on. That's what pays the bills. So thank you very much. Where are we up to here? Mark says, evening all. Good evening, Mark Berraclough. How are you doing, mate? He says, I brought the 40k starter set the other week and have been really enjoying it. Got me back into making up the models and now starting to paint them. Whatever gets you hobbying, mate. It doesn't matter what game, what company it's from. That's all we ask for. We just want people to enjoy the hobby. Jez is saying, electric builds are going to knack 3D printing. I'm not sure they are, mate. 3D printers don't actually use that much energy in comparison to, like, you probably use more energy boiling the kettle to make a cup of coffee, to be fair, than it costs like any energy to 3D print something. And if that is the difference between the cost of shipping to paying for, like, models getting shipped to you, if it's the cost of fuel and parking to go into town to buy models, for example, I think the cost of energy for a 3D printer probably pales into insignificance. As you can see, I obviously save energy by not using a hairdryer, so that's every little helps. Mighty Dice says, people have that much plastic crack, nobody needs to buy any more when tightening the purse strings. Absolutely true, but then it should, like, that's been the case since plastic crack was a thing. We had the exact same thing through lockdown, didn't we? Everybody was locked at home with all their piles of stuff, and what did they do? They all went and bought more stuff. Just like, if you just got to look at GW share price just to see that people have never got enough. So I can't see this making any difference either. Mark says, I did stop all when I lost my job last month, so this brought me back up. Sorry to hear that, mate. I didn't. I think it's a bit different when your income is cut like that, you know, like from a job loss or something like that. I think you basically stop all kind of non-essential spends. But I think if your money is cut sort of by a percentage, for example, with things like the cost of living, I think you start to cherry pick the things where you pull back on. I think that's the point I was really making. Colin said he's working on his mate's Basileans for Kings of War. Spunky Taz says, any Newcastle North East folks in tonight that have come across Clubhouse Gaming, saw a poster for their upcoming Gaslands November event at Anarchy Brewery. I was surprised I'd never heard of them. I've heard of them briefly, mate, because I've seen them do those kind of table sales at Anarchy Brewery, and I think they might have even run a 40k event as well. It's I don't know whether it's I don't know if it's like a gaming group or if it's like a shop or something like that, but I have heard of them in the past, mate. RG saying hobbies might boom again, a bit like lockdown. I think you're right about takeaways, eating out, being able to spend a small amount and get a lot of time value out of it could be where we end up. Yeah, and that's my good feeling, really. And I take that from a point of view of when I decided to leave my old job, where I was on a good salary, and I knew I was going to be coming to do this job where I'm not on a good salary. I looked at all the things that I could cut back on, and hobby wasn't one of them. I looked at things like how much do I spend going to bloody Starbucks on a weekly basis. Like when I looked and saw how much I was spending on like kind of like coffees. That's the kind of stuff where I think, like, my God, that's a massive saving by just not having coffees every day from a coffee shop kind of thing. I've got a nice coffee machine at home. I could be making my own coffee. Like, so I think you start to look at stuff like that. I think you start to look at other things, and your hobby actually becomes more important to you. And whilst you might not spend more money, I think you potentially don't always cut back until you really feel like you have to. Musings of a gluten-free beard says I moved away from GW and bought the Firefight and Dead Zone sets. However, they're still in the box. Well, that's a different kettle of fish, isn't it, mate? But moving away from them and then doing nothing with them. That's a different one. Let's have a little look. Yeah, John said he's heard of events at the brewery, but not that Games Club. Yeah, I think all of the events at that brewery have been run by that Games Club, I think, but I don't know who the Games Club is. I'll be honest. Scott said he's had a couple of weeks off, finally getting his mojo back, and looking forward to a new challenge. Nice one. Mighty Dice saying, sorry, I meant quantity. Yeah. VJ says belt tightening equals one less round of drinks with shots at Filthies. You're not wrong, mate. I tell you what, going on holiday, to be honest, the price of drinks on holiday were a lot cheaper than the price of drinks at home, and I think I probably saved money by going away. And I certainly didn't use any electric while I was away, so there you go. Ed saying for him, GW and Atomic Mass games are about level on the minis front right now, depending if you like heroic or natural. Yeah, I think AMG minis are good. I think Malifaux minis are good. Talking of purely plastic, I think the Wild West Exodus plastics are good. Like there are a number of good plastic companies, but I think the sheer volume that GW puts out and every single one is good. I think is kind of, and when I say good, don't confuse nice looking with good quality. The quality is excellent. The aesthetic of them is purely kind of sort of different people's opinions. Spunky Taz says I may be spending more power on my 3D printers, but at least they heat the room. Yeah, Tony's saying who's AMG? Atomic Mass Games, mate. Think Star Wars Legion and think Marvel Crisis Protocol. VJ says I stopped buying minis a while back until I work on my backlog, switched to buying board games. Wife is rather unimpressed. We've started playing a lot more board games at home, to be fair. I don't know if I mentioned this before I went away, but I bought my son the Cuphead the Cuphead fast dice rolling game, which is a board game based upon the Cuphead franchise. If anybody's familiar with the Netflix show or the video game, he absolutely loves Cuphead. He is amazing at the game. It's one of those sort of almost 80s really hard kind of platform kind of type games, and he is amazing at it. And he loves the game. So yeah, he had a good end of his first kind of school year report. I said I would buy him the game, and him and my wife have been playing that together, and it's been pretty good. I'm really enjoying the game, to be fair. I think if you enjoy the subject matter, the Cuphead kind of franchise, if you like that, it's really, really well made in terms of like sticking close to the kind of the game, and the different bosses that you battle against feel like the bosses in the game. If you're not really into the Cuphead stuff, you might just see it as a bit of a simple dice rolling game type thing. But yeah, we're quite enjoying that one. Let's have a little look. Johnny Grogan, hello mate. He says, hey bro, hope all is well. Yeah, I'm a bit kind of bunged up, a bit coldy mate, a bit fluey, but other than that I'm alright. Let's have a little Blair Smith. Oh, sorry, Ariel Sanchez, hello to you. Blair Smith says, even all playing Wings of War. I've not played Wings of War in years, mate. Oh, LASIK is laser eye surgery. I thought it was kind of like an acronym for a game, mate. He said his biggest godsend is a restaurant chain here gives free fountain drinks around 2 or 4, saves him around $400 or $500 a year. Yeah, you don't get free drinks in the UK, mate. You don't generally get refills, to be fair. Like that was one thing I always remember when I'm in the States. Refills seems to be a common thing. You don't really get refills in the UK. RG says, come on guys, 70 plus watching, only 24 likes. Come on, I'm sure you can get some more likes in there. Thank you very much. Super Pumpkin Man saying, hobbies keep us sane. They absolutely do, mate. VG says, I hit the village Facebook page to try and get the local board gaming group going, only to have it hijacked by people wanting to play backgammon, sorry. Sometimes I hate living in a village full of old people. I actually saw 2 people playing backgammon on holiday on the Sun Lounges. I've not seen anybody play backgammon ever. I wouldn't even know where to start. Coffee saying, energy bills have me rooting through my pile of shame for the first time, starting with Infinity and having a blast with the painting so far. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to kind of get down that route. I think it's disgusting, and I've got many thoughts on it. But this is not a political kind of a channel. Type 40 says I've refereed a few games of Rumble. I refereed a few games of Rumble Slam on Saturday. Everyone had a blast. Good to hear, mate. Luke says Cuphead makes me feel every bit of 40, but I love it. I'm kind of like, I'm okay at it, but my 5-year-old son is better. Like I'm like into the point where he's just we bought the the latest DLC, the Delicious Last Course as it's called. We bought that one, and he just completed the whole of the DLC on his own, like completing the last boss and stuff without any help from any of us. Like I think he's just destined to be a gamer, I think. VG says, chance of seeing some board game coverage on the channel or board games with minis. I'm not really sure, mate. I think it depends. I've kind of done some in the past, and it really does depend on the game. I think it's sometimes game specific, and it confuses the algorithm even more than doing a less popular miniatures game. So it needs to be something I'm really kind of like wanting to talk about, I think, if that's the case. Yeah, Luke's saying it's super hard. It is super hard, mate. Mark's saying, love to see some board games on the channel. I'll kind of give it some thought, mate. And VJ says, don't really know the Cuphead IP beside the passing knowledge of the art style. Yeah, the game's awesome, and there's a Netflix show which has got 2 seasons now. My little boy absolutely loves it. It's just like a cartoon type thing, but there's about like 12 episodes, I think, in the first series and 13 episodes in the second one, and he absolutely adores it. Ed saying, sooner or later I'm going to persuade someone to try Malifaux with me so I can justify buying the Neverborn starter. I actually got a bit of a care package from Weird Games while I was away on holiday. They sent me a very nice email about now Gen Con's over, just wanted to kind of sort of, I think it was referencing back to the video I did about sort of my passion and GW killing my channel and all that kind of stuff. I think somebody had obviously seen it at Weird Games, and just they sent me out a kind of some stuff, which actually just let me get my hands on them. He sent me some of their Gen Con stuff, which was the Nightmare Edition. Sorry, it's a bit shiny there, folks. That's it. The Fallen Kingdom box. They also sent me the Legend Reforged. We get that one. And then they've also sent me the Walking Fortress as well, which was very kind of them. But yeah, they sent a very nice kind of email, just saying, like, we know how hard it is to kind of follow your passion type thing. So just wanted to send you something out. So that was quite nice of them. It's amazing, actually. I think there are some companies that people maybe aren't always kind of aware of and stuff. But they are kind of like, they're run by human beings. They are some nice people in these companies, and they are like, a lot of them are hobbyists and gamers themselves, and I'm sure they watch YouTube for their own interests as well. But it's just nice. Like, for example, the conversation I had with Joe McCulloch came from Joe sending me an email after he saw my video, just saying kind of, you know, like, I know exactly how you feel. It's hard to kind of to do what you're passionate about, and sometimes when it becomes your job, like, the money becomes almost a driver rather than the passion. But you're doing the right things, and kind of like, you know, like, I just wanted to kind of say well done. So there's a few people have kind of reached out and sent some really nice emails. Andrew, who's in the chat there, was one of them as well, to be fair. Sent me an email as well. So yeah, it's kind of nice to, it's nice to know that you sometimes, when you, like, this is quite an isolating experience doing this on your own. Like, I work in this room, like, during the week. Excuse me, let me just get my nose a wipe. I work in this room during the week. I kind of work on my own. I don't really get to see people very often, and it's quite nice that, you know, that you find there are other people out there. So yeah, it was really nice to it was really nice for people like Weird Games and people like Mantic, and some other folks within the hobby industry as well, just to kind of say, like, you know, don't keep your chin up kind of thing. Where are we up to here? Jez is saying Backgammon's a great game. He loves old games like Taffel. I don't know what Taffel is, mate. There you go. Type 40 Todd is saying I'm the same way with the Carnivale 2-player starter set. Trying to get someone playing it, yeah. Luke says, you don't need to say much to get my attention with board games. I have been known to enjoy one or two. That surprises me, Luke. VG says, confusing the algorithm is a way of the future, mate. It's what all the cool kids are doing. I think all the cool kids, mate, are just playing to the algorithm. I think that's the way to do. John says, that's it. I'm going to be seeing if I can get my son into Cuphead. Sounds like he'd love it. It is like the toughest game ever. But my son loves it so much. Like, we've got it on PlayStation, but he loves it so much. I actually bought it for him for Nintendo Switch, so we could play it on the plane when we went on holiday, and he's just absolutely sort of loved playing it on the Switch as well. Ondra says, hello Andy, what are your thoughts on Conquest, The Last Argument of Kings by Parabellum? What do you think about it? So, to be fair, I've only played it a couple of times, and I played it right back in its early format, almost before it was at full release. I did some demos at UK Games Expo a number of years ago, before lockdowns and stuff, and they sent me a copy of the original starter set. So I've never played the sort of skirmish version of it. I've only ever played the full scale game, and my initial feelings when I played it were the miniatures were a bit of a funny scale, and whilst they were good quality and they were like interesting sculpts, they weren't really my aesthetic. I didn't particularly like them, although they were good quality, which is what we've been talking about before. And the game felt like it was doing some things just to be intentionally different, as in wanting you to roll lower rather than roll higher, for example. And I found that quite confusing after playing kind of roll higher games for such a long period of time. It felt like there was no benefit to rolling lower other than just to say, oh, we're different to the other games. I think it's got some good mechanics. The miniatures personally just haven't interested me enough, and I'm a very visual gamer. I like cool minis. If the game plays well as well, so much the better, and I enjoy playing it. But ultimately, I have to want to buy and paint the miniatures. Tizzy Brain Drain saying, yeah, wouldn't mind seeing some board game coverage. Musings are saying, played the Goonies board game with the kids this weekend. Lots of fun and memories of the 80s childhood. Yes. And everyone's saying, yeah, very cool. Luke's saying, yeah, good on weird. Yeah, it was really nice to them. I've had a pretty decent kind of relationships, maybe the right word, I suppose. Like just emails backwards and forwards. They've sent me some stuff out in the past and things. I've had quite a few conversations directly with Nathan Caroland, who's one of the owners of the company, or creator, or basically, I think he's one of the owners of the company. He's certainly one of the folks that started the company. And yeah, they've always been nothing but nice. Let's have a little look here. Glassoff Dead says, have you ever taken a look at Sky Tier? It's a MOBA board game. I only hear good things, but seen no content. I'll be honest, mate, I don't think I've even heard of it. Sky Tier. It kind of makes me think of God Tier, but I don't think it's not that. I'll be honest, mate, I don't think I've heard of it, if I'm honest. Scott Webster says, weird seem like great people, and Malifaux is such a great game, it deserves a ton of attention. Glad they've started doing model showcases for their new releases. Yeah, I would say that some of them sort of social media coverage, some of their sort of marketing stuff really feels like it's kind of kicked up a little bit of a notch. I've always got like sort of, I say this every time we talk about Malifaux, I've got nothing but good things to say about the game. It's the first game I ever really got into and played competitively and toured around playing tournaments. It's the first game I really kind of got into seriously painting miniatures for, and I absolutely loved Malifaux. I kind of drifted away from it for a while, but I like the lore, the background, the world, the art style, the theme of the game. For me, it's up there with my favorite. Luke says, working in the crowdfunding world, I see and interact with people every day that are dealing purely in passion and fueling their project on tons of it. It's not about the money. Very satisfying to be a part of. Yeah, and I mean, we have to be realistic at the end of the day. That and this was something people were kind of critical of me about when I did my video. I think they kind of missed the point of what I was saying. I wasn't complaining about the fact that I want to make videos about games nobody plays, and then I'm complaining that I'm not making any money. That wasn't the point of the video, but a lot of people took that out of it. What I was trying to suggest was that I was making videos about maybe more niche stuff, but they weren't even getting out to people to allow them to make their own mind up whether they wanted to watch them or not. They weren't even being sent out to people who were interested in them, but weren't like sort of getting to watch them. That was the point I was kind of trying to make. So yeah, I mean, it's, you do, if it's your business, if it's your job, you need to kind of, you do need to look at it from a financially sustainable point of view. But if you've got passion at the heart of it and you can make enough to make it work, that for me is enough to keep this thing going. Oh, I'm not looking to get rich. I'm not looking to kind of buy a Ferrari out of this. I am looking to be able to do something that makes me happy and makes me just enough to kind of to tick the boxes, if you like. And that's essentially what I do. Bit of chat backwards and forwards. Jez is saying Taffel is a Dark Ages version of chess, kind of less pieces, off balanced. Definitely not seeing that, mate. Not aware of it. Luke says it has a few swear words in it, but you and your lad should check out Guns Go and Cannoli 2. Brilliant side-scrolling fun, and also new Turtles. I think the Turtles one might be a one for to give him a try with, because he's pretty much completed. He's going back now. Like bearing in mind he's 5. He's 6 at the end of this month, or at the end of September, I should say. I was thinking we're in September, but we're not yet. He's almost 6, but he goes on YouTube and watches kind of like tutorials about how to find like hidden abilities and hidden levels, and then he goes and tries them. He started like standing an iPad up in front of the TV, and he's been making his own like little YouTube videos and stuff. Like he's absolutely loving all that stuff at the minute. Let's have a look down here. George, hello to you as well, mate. Simon Davis says Mantic make games with really fun rules. Loving Kings of War lately. I'm always a big fan of Mantic's games, mate. Some of their miniatures, are pretty old now, and they're not my favourite miniatures. Some of the new stuff I really do like, but as far as gameplay goes, I like the simplicity of what they do. Cripple Fox Game and John Jack says got bogged down what I missed. We've just been randomly chatting, mate, to be fair. I've not got the firefight stuff yet. I've not got to the showcase stuff yet. So I think I should probably, while we're at this point, I should probably dive in, and we'll start looking at the first batch of the August challenge stuff. And I will let me get across. And we'll get the first one up there. I move across to here. I'll get my emails up, and then I can tell you what these are as well, because I've actually put them in order of the order they were submitted this time. So if you submitted them early, you'll be up first. If you submitted them late, somebody just submitted one right before the stream started, but I did catch it. So yeah. So this is from Ed Handley, so Major Tom in the chat there. He said, I feel like I cheated a bit, so I'll probably do something else too. This is a Beskard duelist for Legion. However, I'll be honest, mate. She's got a cape on, I think it's a she. She's got a cape on there, mate. It's blowing in the wind. For those that don't know, the challenge this month was August. So it was anything with anything kind of like wind blowing it, or flying, or any of that kind of stuff. I will give you this one, mate. There's nothing wrong with that one. You managed to pull that one off. So yeah, nothing at all wrong with that, mate. And he also put one with a more dramatic flowing cloak, he said as well. So this is for Carnivalia by TT Combat. I forget what the miniature is called, because he's not mentioned it on here. But love the miniature, mate, as well. Actually, I didn't mention this one. Beautiful paint job, I should say, as well. Love the edge highlighting on there. Nice work on the base and mate as well. And I think I always find with these kind of minis, getting the kind of the helmet, the mask right, really is kind of important, because that's the focal point for this mini. And those little kind of red rockets on the shoulders is there, just really kind of frame it as well. So yeah, excellent work, mate. And then this one, I always love that kind of creamy kind of cloak with the red. I love the way the red pops against it. I think it's fantastic colour choice, mate. Lovely work on the base and again as well. And nice highlighting and shading on the cloak as well. Lovely work, buddy. Thank you very much. Next up, we have... Let's have a look. We have Mr. Chris Lupton, or Zingbo. I think he's in the chat as well tonight as well. And he said it hasn't been... too productive a month for him, hobby-wise, but he was struggling to think of a suitable model, and then he remembered he had hiding in a box in the loft what could be more gusty than an air elemental. This is a 1984 Citadel Miniatures air elemental, and he said back in the day elementals were pretty terrifying in Warhammer Fantasy Battle, but this one is almost dwarfed by the 40mm base I put it on. Tried to model a base to make it look like the elemental's passage has torn up the grass, but I'm not sure I managed to. It's much less junky than the ancient model itself. It looks awesome, mate. I think you've done a cracking job of it. It's always really hard to do very light colours like whites and light greys and stuff, but I love the kind of the blue glow to the eyes here. It really does set it off. The shading as well into the recesses just kind of gives it almost a kind of like a, you know, like that kind of cloud, you know, the darkness to clouds and stuff like that as well. And I like what you've done with the basin as well, mate. Nice work, buddy. Thank you very much for taking part. Next up, we have a certain Mr. Valery Lazarev. And Valerie has done 2 ships for Blood and Plunder by, I think it's Firelock Games, isn't it? Or is it Firelock or Flintlock? I forget. And this is the Tartana and Bark. Painted, fully rigged, and ready for play. Super crisp on these. The rigging is nicely done as well. I've watched videos of people doing like the Black Seas ships, doing the rigging by hand as well, and it looks like something that I would get very frustrated with and throw across the room. So extra bonus points made for doing such a good job on those. Well done, Valerie. Really like them. Next up, we have Mr. Tony Howell. And Tony Howell, I forget what this miniature is called. Tony will probably tell us in the chat. But this is for, I think it's for Wild West Exodus by War Cradle. Beautiful mini, mate. He said he's going to call this one done, or he'll still be painted by Christmas. There's always that case of knowing when you're done, mate, isn't it? It's hard to do, but beautiful work on it, mate. Skin tones really do settle in nice. Love the red edging to the bits of kind of material, the cloaks. The weapons suitably glow there as well. This little bit of green feathering around the headdress really does set it off. And yeah, really nice work, mate. Always love your stuff, but yeah, super nice job on that. Excuse me for sniffing. I'm sure that's not very nice coming down through your speakers. Hey, I apologise even more if you've got headphones on. I'll try not to sniff too much. Next up, we have a certain Mr. Ian Pennells. And Ian has said, and let me read through the email here, he decided to make it freeze. So the purple guys are hobgoblins. I don't know if we've got these in order, to be fair. I've put these in the order that they were attached to the email, but we'll just read where it says. There's a mixture of Dark Elf and Orc, the Love Blooms, a Halfling Inquisitor, and Tony, the other lot of elves. They are all from Spellcrow, and the last one should be the legendary Tony Smasher from War Cradle and the Wild West Exodus. Didn't want to feel Tony he's on his own, as he's never on his own. Like that, mate. I like that phrasing. So here we go. And he said, feel free to shake your head. I haven't finished the Overdrive minis when you read this out loud. You have finished them, mate. It's absolutely fine. So yes, beautiful work on these, mate. Love what's happening here with the kind of frosting and stuff. Just making sure my screen's working there as well. Let me zoom a little bit. Lovely billowing capes there as well. They feel cold looking at them, mate. Love that red choice there as well. Really does ping out. Let me come across here as well. Is that a different model there with the purple cape? Yes, I think it is a different model. Love the work on here as well. Looks like a little bit of freehand stuff on there as well. The frosting looks good. The werewolf there as well. Love the little dwarf. That's the other side of those ones. Nice work on them, mate. That gold and purple really does work well together. Good work on the flames as well. And then we have these fellas as well. Some lovely minis. Where are these? They're all from Spellcrow, you say, mate, yeah? I've not really ever looked at Spellcrow stuff before. Love what you've done with the snow and the frost and stuff. How it's not necessarily just on the bases, and actually there is some like movement to it as well. And this is the Tony Smasher, is it? From War Cradle and Wild West Exodus. Love this mini, mate. Absolutely beautiful work. Really nicely done. Well done, Ian. Another monthly challenge smashed for you as well, mate. And yeah. Some nice words there in the email too. Kev Preston's next up, and he has got some converted Warhammer Fantasy Knights. And I think he says in the email, when the email loads up here, of course it's going slow now, he says, converted Warhammer Fantasy Knights based on the old Kislev cavalry. A gust of wind has caught the lance pennants and as they charge to the enemy. I'll definitely give you for that one, mate. Nice work there, mate. I'm not that familiar with the Kislev stuff and things, but the red and white really does work together. Love the little pennants as well on the lances, and love the basin as well across those. Nice work, mate. I don't think I've ever seen those minis before. I'm not that familiar with Warhammer Fantasy stuff, if I'm being honest, so I never really know whether it's Warhammer Fantasy or not, but these are nice minis, mate. I like those. There's something about knights on the tabletop, isn't there? That always looks cool. So yeah, well done, buddy. Thanks, Kev. Mr. VJ Morph is up next. And he said, you don't get any more gusty than a monster made of air. Beautiful work there, mate. Super clean. So I present Hurricanus, Air Elemental Protector from the Monster Apocalypse game. He says, this mini I practice my gems, gold and eye glow. I think you absolutely nailed it, mate. The gems look beautiful there on the chest. These kind of air swirls. I love the highlighting on them as well, mate. And the recess, kind of like the darker blues. And the eye glows look really nice as well, mate. And there it is from the rear as well. It's a nice mini, this mate. I've not seen these minis before. The Monpok stuff is, I would never be able to like pick out like a Monpok miniature just by seeing it. It's not something I'm familiar with. Lovely work on that gem as well. It really does look like you've done a cracking job on that as well, buddy. Golds look super sharp. Nice with the recessed washers as well. Beautiful work, VJ. Good to see you getting your mojo going, mate. Next up, we have Blizzards. And Blizzards has been working on some Marvel Crisis Protocol. He said August just blew by, and along with my allergies and the heat, it really took the wind out of me. Originally, he was going to present this piece just as an opening gag, followed by a bunch of other appropriate pieces, as well as the finished whoosh with Deadpool on top. But that all went up in a puff of smoke. Hopefully September will bring more favourable winds. I like this, mate. I've painted this little bit of stuff as well with my Deadpool on top, and I think it's a nice little fun bit of stuff. Nice picking out of the edge highlight in there as well with the yellow and the blue, mate. Really does stand out. Beautiful work on the smoke there as well. Fantastic, mate. It counts. It's a miniature. It's on a base. It absolutely counts. Well done, buddy. Next up, we have Newbie Dice, Paige Neo. And Paige sent me about 4 emails, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on them. And I mean this in the nicest possible way, but I think there's about 30 pictures or something here. But what I will show first of all is this is the kind of reference material, like he said. This is what he was trying to kind of to represent. So he's got obviously we've got some Avatar type stuff here. So this is the look he was going for, and I'm trying to open these in a certain kind of order, so because he's put some kind of work in progress pictures in here as well, which is nice to see. That we don't always kind of get to see the bits in the background. So this is the kind of the basin that he was working on. That's how it ended up. So I've jumped ahead a bit there. He's got here with the tin foil and the bits of stuff on top. This is where he kind of ended up with the basin with the waterfall coming over the top and the kind of rocks floating in the sky. And then where are we up to? I think I'll go back and I'll show you some of these now. So these are some of the kind of the actual miniatures and stuff as well, so you can see. And he's using the skink models there, but it really does look what they call again. They're not called skinks anymore, but you know what I mean. Lizard men, or Seraphon as they're also called now. He's using those models, but it looks really nice, and it does look very Avatar-esque. So we'll flick through some of these pictures. But yeah, beautiful choice. Love the kind of like the what's it called again? Like the like aquatic sort of plant stuff as well on there as well. Really does give it that that Avatar feel. Some work there as well. A bit more work in progress stuff where he's been working on. We'll flick through and seeing the work there. It's nice to see some kind of progress shots. And then he also has, you can see here as well, a little bit more close-ups and stuff. Nice work on the waterfall there as well. And then I'm sure he's got some more. Let's skip through these. And then he's got some more stuff as well that he's been working on, which is kind of part of the same army. This looks like some kind of like treeman. And there we go as well. Really nice work. There it is with a little bit of foliage on it as well. And there we go. Some beautiful work there. And there's the finished article. So Paige has been super busy this month. Thank you very much, mate. And last one in this section is Mr. Dave Mackay, and he has been doing. So I think are they called Grenadiers? The ones for the Halfling Army for Kings of War. This is. I think I need to work on taking better pictures. Nothing wrong with your pictures, mate. I forget what the names of these units are called. I've got a terrible memory for this kind of stuff. But beautiful painting. Love the green and yellow highlights and shading on these, mate. It really does set them off. Works really, really well. Just kind of. It really does give a feeling of that spherical shape. Beautiful work on those. Really nice work on the little pilot there as well. Love the flames on the back of the air balloon as well. Looks really cool. And then I think there's also, must be somebody else has been doing some halflings as well. I thought he'd done some more as well. Beautiful work though, mate. Really, really, especially on this top part here. Love that, mate. So well done. Let me get back into the chat now, and I can see what everybody's been talking about. I always knock my chat off when I'm doing that. I won't go back and cover everybody's comments, but yeah, some lovely comments in there. Nice to see kind of Coffee seeing the gold on VJ's model. The gold is a colour he finds very intimidating, and the gold looks amazing. Well done. I'm going to scroll down a bit here. Everyone seems to be loving the work. Simon Dave saying loving the Halfling balloons. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's Aaron Oates. Thank you very much. I couldn't remember the name. And Scott saying the stitch work is stupendous. It does look really good, doesn't it, mate? And Coffee saying the Halfling is so smart. Nailed the green and yellow. It does look really cool, doesn't it? So that is the first half. We'll be coming back and doing the other half. I think it was about 21 entries in total. We'll come back and do the second half of those ones as well. But what I'll do is I'll start off with a bit of firefight news. So let me just get stuff ready here in the background, as you do. Let me just do. I'm having to press the buttons now and get stuff. Here we go. So. Let me just shrink that down. There we go. So let me go across to here because I'm gonna clip this bit out as well. So the bit of announcement that I've got tonight concerning Firefight by Mantic Games is something I've been working on for a little period of time with Mantic. So we've been chatting in the background. There's been a little bit of build up to this, and what I have to announce to you tonight is this. The BlackJack Legacy Firefight Slow Grow Army Challenge. So for those of you that might remember going back to just before lockdown, back in 2020, right at the start of 2020, I started a Kings of War Slow Grow campaign, and it was really, really well received. It went really well. We had plans to do like a bit of a meetup halfway through it at Mantic HQ, and unfortunately the world lockdown really did get in the way of it. But people continued with it. There was loads of armies painted. So I've been working in the background with Mantic to be able to do this for Firefight as well. So you'll want to know the details of what this Firefight challenge is about. When does it start? What does it mean? What do I have to do? What's involved? Let me get to that for you. So let me just get my details up here so I can read it. So what this is going to be is a 3-month challenge. So the Kings of War one, we painted lots and lots of models. It lasted for I think it was 8 months in total, and we were doing kind of 250 points a month. The armies for Firefight are a lot smaller in physical models, so this is going to last for 3 months. So it starts on September the 1st and runs until November the 30th. 30 days of September, April, June, November. That's right. I had to make sure I have my dates right there. It runs to the 30th of November. And the plan is, the slow grow is for you to build and paint a 1,000 point Firefight army over those 3 months. Now, there are going to be 3 monthly challenges over the 3 months of September, October, and November. The first month, I'm going to just a bit of a lowball one. People will be just kind of buying their stuff or getting their stuff built or choosing colour schemes. So by the end of September, I want you to have painted your leader. So the September challenge is show us your leader as far as the Firefight challenge goes. The second month will be to paint a vehicle. So I'm assuming most people will probably have some kind of vehicle within their Firefight army. So I want to see it painted by the end of the second month. And in the third month's challenge is to complete the 1,000 point challenge. To get you started, if you've already bought the 2-player starter set, you've probably already got about kind of 800 to 900 points in there for each army. So that is a good starting point. You might want to buy a vehicle to kind of boost that up to the 1,000. If you've bought one of the Firefight, what they called, like the big army sets, if you like, I think they're around £75. If you've bought one of those, there's about 1,000 points in them. That's a perfect start as well. So if you've got one of them, you're well on your way to getting started. If you haven't bought anything yet, I've kind of worked with Mantic on this, and they have given me a special code that is just for this Firefight challenge to give you 20% off any Firefight miniatures for the first month. So if you haven't bought any stuff yet and you're wanting to get in and get involved, this code is going to give you 20% off, and I'll be able to give you that code when the challenge kicks off. To add to this as well, there's going to be some extra stuff that's going to be happening through this challenge. I'm going to be making some specific sort of Firefight slow grow videos. There's going to be a video about kind of list building 101. If you've never played Firefight before, I'll be telling you later on this week how to kind of build your list, where to start, like how does list building work. There'll be other videos as well through the 3-month challenge. There'll be a gameplay video about kind of like how to play your first games. There'll be some painting stuff about kind of painting an army in a weekend. So if you don't get started in this till maybe month 2 and you think I haven't got time, I'll be showing you'll still be able to complete them in time. So there's a number of different bits of content. There'll be a monthly podcast, so there'll be one episode each month talking about the community, talking about the Slow Grow community, about what's going on. So I'll be sending you links to where you can listen to that. And at the end of this, it will all culminate with a Slow Grow event at Mantic HQ. So on Saturday, December the 3rd, there will be an event at Mantic HQ where we'll be selling tickets for this. It'll be £5 per ticket, just because it's easier to do it. Like, generally what happens is if everyone gets a free ticket, they tend not to they think, oh, well, I'll just get one and I might turn up. It's generally what happens if people have to buy a ticket. It's the people that want to come. But the ticket will only be £5. You will get more than your £5 worth of stuff on the day when you attend. And we'll be doing 3 games on the day where you can bring along your 1,000-point fully painted army for Firefight. There'll be 2 750-point games, and then the third game will be 1,000 points where you can use all of your beautiful toys. The reason we're doing the kind of smaller games to start with is because it means that if you've never played before, there'll be people on hand to help teach you the game. This is not a tournament. It's not like sort of super competitive. This is around getting you to build and paint 1,000 points and then learn to play the game, be able to get some games in with it. So it's a bit of a celebration event at the end of the Slow Grow as opposed to a tournament. We're not, like, don't think of this as kind of competitive. If you've never played before, please do still come along and we'll be on hand to teach you how to play the game. There'll be more kind of like narrative type stuff. We're trying to work on something so that like it might affect the story through the day, so it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. It weaves a bit of a narrative story through the 3 games. But that's the plan for it. So if you want to get involved, what do you need to do? There is a Facebook group that I have set up in the background. I'll be sending links out to it tomorrow. So everybody will get to see the links. If you're watching this on the catch-up video, it'll be down below in the comments. But there's a Facebook group where we will kind of coordinate everything. So if you're familiar with the Kings of War one that I did, it'll be exactly the same as that. So all of the codes for the discounts will be on there. Information on how you can buy your ticket for the event at the end. There'll be information about deadlines for the different kind of stuff. You'll be able to paint your minis and share pictures of what you're up to. And we'll be able to kind of I'll send you the links to where the videos are going to be. I'll send you links to where the podcast episodes are going to be. So there's going to be 3 months worth of content plus the end of challenge event. So if you're interested, let me know it down in the comments. Let me know in the chat, and I'd love to know who's kind of wants to get involved in this. I'll be sharing this information out more widely, but you're hearing it first here. So let me know what you think. So what do you think, folks? What do you think? Let's have a look in the chat and see if anybody's got any questions. If you got any questions about it, please let me know, and I will try my best to answer them. Let's have a little look here. Let me go back. Type 40 TARDIS says my wallet just started crying. Coffee's saying wicked. Luke says I was not planning on getting into a firefight, but now I want to. VJ says that's me picking up the firefight box next month. Jess says, ooh, very posh, nice one. Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Mantic, they've kind of like I've been having like meetings with them in the background about how we can make this happen, and try and kind of replicate what I did for the Kings of War one, and do the same thing for Firefight. I think we're at a point now with Firefight where folks have bought the starter boxes. They might have bought some stuff. Summer's kind of getting in the way a little bit maybe of getting things painted, but I really want to see people playing the game. I love it. I think it's a fantastic game. I think there's some great minis out there for it, and you don't need to buy an awful lot of stuff to be able to get up and get games getting played. It's not like you need to spend £300, £400, £500 on an army to be able to have playable stuff. You buy one of those army boxes you've pretty much got 1,000 points. I've been working on the video for this week for the kind of the list building exercise, and if you buy, for example, the Enforcers starter box, the Enforcers army box, there is 1,000 points inside. I think it's £75 on the Mantic site. You'll be able to get 20% discount off that as well. So I think that's an absolute no-brainer when it comes to kind of getting started. Simon Day says, now I have a reason to buy Firefight. George is saying, nice one. Tony says, fantastic. Scott says, now I need to paint one of my Firefight armies. Yeah, this is not me trying to sell you minis. If you haven't bought anything yet, there's a discount code to try and help you out. But if you've already got your stuff, if you've bought the starter box and you've been looking for a reason to get started and do something with it, this is to try and encourage you to just kind of a little bit of community support, a little bit of motivation, a little bit of kind of encouragement. That's what this is all about. RG saying, this is the challenge I need to get my Firefight plastic painted. Spoonie saying, colour me interested. Tom saying, will there be a non-Firefight challenge too? Yeah, there'll be the normal monthly challenges, mate. There'll still be a September challenge and an October challenge and a November challenge for BlackJack Legacy community stuff. But this is kind of ran alongside that as well. So feel free to kind of like sort of, if Firefight's not for you, again, I'm not trying to convince anybody to play any games. If Firefight's not for you, we'll still have the normal painting challenges as well. And we'll still have the monthly kind of live stream showing off everybody's stuff as well. Jez is saying UTs. Jason saying 20% off. Heck yeah. So my understanding is it's going to only be for the first month. So I'll be able to get the code. I would have given you the code tonight, but with it being Bank Holiday Monday, I've not had a chance to speak to Rob since I got back from holiday, and I'm not sure if the code's live yet. So I want to make sure that the code is live before I hand it out. Otherwise, there'll be all sorts of problems and stuff. So as soon as I know the code is definitely live, I'll be able to give it out to you. And yeah, Tony's saying, yeah, there will be an individual challenge too. Mighty Dice says, to paint quickly, airbrush is your friend. Airbrush might be your friend, but spray cans can also be your friend. There's some fantastic coloured sprays that you can use to really get armies painted quickly as well. And I'll be talking about all of that kind of stuff through the coming weeks and months. Coffee saying, Forge Fathers, here I come. Scott Latham saying 20% off. Ouch, my wallet. Jez is saying this is all very cool. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what I wanted to do with the Kings of War challenge, but unfortunately, kind of COVID got in the way. So this time we're going to nail it with Firefight. We'll do it over a shorter period of time because you don't have to paint as many models. I think 3 months is enough time to get 1,000 points painted. I've done roughly about 2,000 points in the period in a week, which was the starter box plus a couple of ships. So if I can do it, and I'm not a fast painter, then you can do it. George is saying he's in. Vijay says, if I paint my 1,000 points, will Mantic fly me over to player? I think that might be a little bit outside of their budget, mate. Let's have a little look up here. It's just jumped. Let's have a look. Where the hell did it go there? Simon Davis says, what's the capacity of the event? Do you know what it is, mate? I think I've forgotten to write down what the capacity was. I did write it down somewhere. Let me have a little look, because I think I've got it in my notes somewhere. I will just double check, because I have got some notes on my computer here. I think we said that there'll be 20 places, enough for 20 people, so there'll be 10 tables. And I'll be able to kind of explain to you nearer the time, we'll say, how to buy your tickets and stuff, because obviously there's going to be a limited amount of stuff, and I want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to buy them. Where we up? Coffee and Pistachio saying, sounds like a great time. Thanks for sorting this out. You are very welcome, mate. Scott saying, definitely interested in this. Simon Davis says, sounds awesome. I'd love to jump on board. Scott saying, would love to have jumped in, but I already have 2 lots of Firefight armies. If you still want to take part, mate, if you've already got your armies painted, feel free to join the kind of the slow grow community, kind of encourage everybody else. If you've got your stuff painted, you can still come along to the event. It's open to anybody. It's not about kind of like, you don't have to have already you don't have to paint it to attend if you've painted your stuff. The idea is to get more people with painted armies and get them playing the game. That's all I'm trying to do. Type 40 Tyler says, can we participate in the challenge if we know we can't make the HQ? You absolutely can, mate. The event at the end is just like a little bit of an extra thing, a little bit of a celebration. We'll probably do some streaming from the day and things for overseas people to keep them involved as well, and we'll try and sort of involve people who obviously are too far away to make it. But if you just want to be part of the community to build your army, absolutely, because there's no way everybody is going to be able to attend that event, whether they live in this country or whether they live abroad. Like, there's only a certain amount of space for people in the building. So yeah, I want loads of people involved, whether you can attend or not. VJ saying, I think I've got enough Forge Fathers to do 1,000 points. Fantastic. Vincent saying he's really excited. He's got a huge pile of greater paint. Luke says, I want to get involved. I love community things like this. Love Mantic, and absolutely see me enjoying Firefight. Firefight's a great game. It's just like, I think it's like anything. People can sometimes get overwhelmed by getting armies ready, getting lots of models painted. And what I'm trying to do over the next few months is to try and encourage people to kind of do it in bite-sized chunks, have some support, some encouragement, have something to aim for. Like the way that our monthly challenges are just about encouraging you to paint. This 3-month challenge is about trying to encourage you to paint an army, basically. Vincent saying his apartment's been renovated, so no painting until mid-September. That's absolutely fine, mate. There's plenty of time to get sorted. RG saying, nice, got to dash and pick the kids up, and he'll catch what's left tomorrow. Take care, mate. Yoakum says, wonder if I could make it. Would be fun to meet some of you folks in person. If you could, mate, I'd absolutely love it. If you're going to travel that far, mate, I will make sure I can get you a ticket in that case. Tim Morton says, that's funny, I just finished a Dead Zone Firefight Imperial Guard army. Nice one, mate. Well, in that case, you've got an army. Scott says, just need to decide which faction. That is the thing. He says, I have them assembled and primed. That's all you need to do. John says, nice. Firefight is a great game. With a discount, an army starter is just £60. Yeah, there's your cost of living crunch hobby sorted there. Blizzard said, I don't think I'd be able to make the event though. That's absolutely fine, mate. If you don't feel like you want to attend or you can't attend, nothing wrong with that. You can still be part of the community, still be involved. You can just kind of join in with the challenge itself. Don't think that you have to go to the event to be part of the challenge. The challenge is for everybody. The event is for the 20 people that want to attend. Spoonie says he's near done with his Enforcer army. Do I use this to build and paint his Forge Fathers or build some troops or for his plagues? Well, there you go, mate. There you go. Tony saying, as you know, I can't and don't enjoy painting armies, so I won't take part. But this is very cool news. Yeah, even just being able to kind of support, even if you want to join the group to support folks, mate, maybe give some. I know your tips on things like basing and painting and stuff will be a huge help for folks that are just starting out as well. Lord Maiden says, what happens if you've already painted stuff for Dead Zone? You can just add to it, mate. Add to it and grow your Dead Zone army into a Firefight army. That's absolutely fine too. Dutty Dave says there's about 700 or so points for each force in the starter set. In the 2-player starter set, there's just shy of 900 points in each of the 2 armies, and I know this because I've built and painted it myself. I don't know about every single one of the army boxes, but certainly in the Enforcer one, because that's the one I was looking at for the video this week, there's 1,000. You can make a 1,000-point army with what's in that box. Type 40 Tauruses are Mason Labs in Firefight. They're not in Firefight, mate. There are 7 factions at the moment. There is, he says, try to remember, Enforcers, GCPS, Asterians, Plague, Marauders, Forge Fathers, and Veerman. There you go. There's the 7. Those are the 7. Yeah, Luke saying Veerman, Plague, or maybe Asterian's really punchy, bright paint job. Yeah, I'm thinking, I mean, obviously I'm going to take part in this as well. I'm considering Asterians purely because it's something that I'd never really I didn't like the look of them so much when I saw them on pictures online, but I went to Mantic HQ a while ago for a meeting, and I saw them in the cabinet there all painted up, and when I saw them in the flesh, the models were much nicer than I remember seeing in the photographs online. So I might even do an Asterian's force. Let's have a little look here. Vijay saying, do you know if Mantic might do a Firefight taster box, or is there a Firefight pack you can buy with everything in but the minis in the starter? So I don't think they've got like a taster box. You can buy the rule books and the dice separately, so if you just want those, and I think the tokens come with that as well. So if you just want the stuff to play the game with your own miniatures, you can buy that. If you just want a small amount of models as a bit of a taster, you can buy one of the Dead Zone sets. The Dead Zone sets will have some stuff in that you can actually use and then basically upgrade into Firefight if you just want some smaller models. The Dead Zone sets are a great way to kind of to build out some of your Firefight armies as well. But to be fair, I think like if you know, like the army boxes, let me get one of the army boxes and I'll just show you the size of the things. So, for example, we've got, these are the army boxes. This is the Vehement army box. Inside here, you've got there's a couple of the runners in there. There's a tunneler. You've got 40 of these Vehements, which can make either. I'm trying to remember the names now. You can make either of the different troop types. I think you've got some of the not the nightmares. They are nightmares, aren't they? I forget. Is it not nightmares? Yeah, the nightmares, I think. And then you've got a couple of like leader models in here as well. There's different ways you can build this as well. So that gives you an idea what you get in a box for the £60 with the discount. And then obviously there'll be some shipping on top of that as well. I don't know what the point there, what the cutoff is for free shipping or anything like that with Mantic. But yeah, so that gives you an idea. So for £60, that's quite a big chunk of stuff. Even the starter box, to be fair, the 2-player starter box. Have I got that box on the shelf here anywhere? I have. Let me get that. I forget how much this is as well, but this will also give you two lots of stuff. Gives you all the rule books and everything else and all that kind of stuff. So if you are wanting to kind of start with the rules and everything else, they'll also have 20% off online as well. So there you go. Where are we up to here? Scott's saying I have to decide either Forge Fathers, GCPS, Marauders, or Plague. Type 40 tosses. I feel another 100 mini painting month coming on. Blair says sounds good. Just came at the end, so I have to do my Plague Bearers Dead Zone set and expand it to Firefight size. That's the way to do it, mate. Let's have a little. Andrew saying I won't tell the Fire Marshal if you don't. The Fire Marshal. What that was about now. Vijay says on the tokens and custom dice as well. There is some custom dice in there, mate. But if you have dice from Walking Dead, if you have dice from I'm trying to think out loud now. If you have dice from Vanguard, they'll work as well. But there is some custom dice in this game. But yeah, I think you can get a set with the 2 rule books. So basically, as you can see, I've got all my information here. We have been doing my work this week. There is the rule book and there is the force list book. These two come as a pack together, and you can get that as a pack with the tokens as well, I believe. The tokens, to be fair, I mean, it's saying custom tokens. The tokens, really, you can use any tokens. All you're really using them for is to mark things like activated or wound markers and that kind of stuff. Having the official ones, it comes with a rule book, it comes with a starter set. So if you're not buying the digital version and you're buying the proper versions, if you like, the paperback versions. But yeah, I mean, token wise, let's have a look. There's a saying about here. The game uses D8s, so if you haven't got any D8s, you will need some D8s. But yeah, tokens wise, there's nothing really kind of, there's nothing critical about them really. You could use any tokens as long as it marks. Mighty Dice is where is Mantic HQ? Mantic HQ is in Nottingham. So what I'll do is, when I send you the links to the Facebook group and you can all join up, I'll put all of the details into there as well and let you know exactly the things, how to buy tickets for the event, that kind of stuff. But it's in Nottingham, yeah. Vijay is saying that the Firefight starter set's a good price anywhere. Mighty Dice says cheers, just a couple of hours down the road. Yeah, it's about 3.5 hours for me, not too bad. Camo saying, what was the exciting announcement? We've just been talking about the Firefight slow grow campaign, mate. But yeah, I'll be putting it up as like a separate video as well, like the Tuesday Eclipse video. But if you want to come back and watch the stream, all the details are there as well. And Luke says, how many points did you say it needs to be? It is 1,000 points, mate. So games for Firefight are roughly between 1,000 or 1,500 points. But you can definitely have a good game at 1,000 points. John Estel, who's in the chat earlier on, I'm not sure he's still there. John and I have played at 1,000 points, and the game is really, really good at that level. So it's not like a case of it doesn't feel like a small game. It still feels like a really tactical game with plenty of units on the board. Clyde says, all the 1,000 point sets the ones with the vehicles? They are, mate. Yeah, I'm not guaranteeing every set has 1,000 points in it. The one I looked at for the Enforcers had 1,000 points in it. Some of the others might be a little bit short. But to be fair, like, you can, if you're a little bit short, you can still play. You can obviously you can give upgrades and things like different weapon options to your models, which give them more points as well. So it's worth looking at the bits and pieces and stuff like that. You might need like an extra commander model or something like that, or potentially like maybe another unit or something for some of the boxes. But I'll have a look and I'll try and work out just how many points is in each of them. Let's have a little look. Yeah, VJ saying vehement, never forget the rats. You're right, mate. George is saying, yeah, 4 hours drive. It's not far off for me as well, yeah. Scott saying, bloody hell, I forgot I got loads of rats as well. VJ is saying that I was lucky enough to get the bunch of the Volt Chaser vehement stuff when I went to Mantic. Stoked when Johnny found them in the warehouse. And Mighty Dice says, I've been wanting to get to Warlords open day. Yeah, it's not a million miles away, mate. Warlords is not a million miles away from Mantic. Ian saying, darn it, Andy, I was thinking of getting Firefight. Well, there's the little nudge that you need, mate. 20% off's not too bad either, is it? VG says, I'm not sure I feel like building any more of those Enforcers. Those legs give me a real pain in the ass to glue. I found them alright, mate. I honestly did. I found them alright. And John saying the starter is £90 before discount. Worth it even if you want one army. Not much more than the rules and dice. You're right, mate, actually. That's a fair point, that. So yeah, bits of chat there talking about the different stuff. So that's the announcement for tonight. So I'm doing this in conjunction with Mantic, so they're supporting this as well. And I'm sure between now and the end of the challenge, we'll have some more surprises. There might be some more discount codes later on if you need a few models to kind of top up your army or something like that. But yeah, the 20% off will be for the first month only, and it will only be off Firefight products. When I say Firefight, I do wonder whether they're going to include some Dead Zone stuff in that. I'll clarify this when I speak to them, because obviously the Dead Zone stuff can be used in Firefight as well. So yes, we'll get to that soon. Anyway, let's get back to the last of the month's painting challenges, and we go back to here. Let me get my emails open here. We can see where this one is from. This one is from Adam Wasnitcha. I always pronounce his name wrong. I'm sure I do. Adam, I apologise. And he said he decided to do a hurricane. Well, more of a storm. The third picture is all of his X-Men to date. So this is obviously Storm from Marvel Crisis Protocol. Certainly Storm, Gust. The hair's blowing. Absolutely fits the theme. Lovely work on the lightning bolts there, mate. Nice work on the cape as well. You can see here with the highlighting and the shade. Looks really good. Love the stone work as well on the base. Nice little background there. Sets it off too. And the white hair, which is never easy to do. And then this is his X-Men force so far with is it Beast, Rogue, Gambit and Storm as well. So yes, some beautiful work there. Love that Gambit model. And the explosion here on the base is absolutely fantastic. Really, really nice work. So yes, thank you very much, Adam. Beautiful work, mate. Thanks for taking part in the challenge. Next up, Mr. Robert Green. And Robert has been painting some Armada ships, and he sent me quite a few here. And he said he's really a gamer, but he took your comments a few weeks ago about breaking the task down into simple steps, and also lent on what you did with Firefight 2 player starter set. Simple paint scheme and just focused on it over 4 nights, 2 for each faction. Helped that the wife and kids went away on holiday and I got a week of unadulterated hobby time. Keep it going. Thank you very much, mate. And yeah, so he's painted some Forge Father ships here as well. I love the little bits of smoke as well coming on them as well with the bits of cotton wool. Really sets them off nice. See the gust blowing the smoke there as well. The little the flyers there as well. Lovely paint scheme on these. I really do like these Forge Father models, just for how you can really kind of do a relatively simple paint scheme, pick out some of the edging and stuff, and it looks fantastic. Beautiful work on the wake and stuff as well for the basin. Really nice stuff. And then he's done some oak ships as well with a nice big bellowy sails there as well. Love that black and yellow. I don't think I've seen black and yellow done before randomly. Have I seen that? No, I don't think I have. It really stands out though. It looks lovely. Really like it. Really good work. Love what he's done on these. So yes. Awesome work, mate. Love them. Nice bit of kind of highlighting as well on those black sails, just to stop them looking quite so flat. But yeah, love the flames as well in the mouth there. Lovely work, mate. Thank you very much. So yeah, cheers, Robert. Next up, Mr. Ben Mitchell. And Ben has been doing some more Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff. So we have Valkyrie here. We have Thor. We have, is it Helena, I think it is, isn't it? And we have Loki as well. Hela, sorry, not Helena. And he says, nothing too original this month, but superheroes tend to fill a lot of the monthly themes, and it keeps giving me an excellent reason to work through the backlog. We've certainly got flowing capes, mate, blowing smoke. It absolutely fits. And he said, hope you had a good holiday with your family, mate. Thank you very much, mate. Beautiful work on these, mate. Love these colours. That green on there really stands out, and love the highlights of the green here on Hela. Love the kind of the frost there from Loki, and the green really stands out. Nice work as well on Thor's kind of cloak as well, like he's sort of tabard stuff. Nice work on the skin tones as well. Love it, mate. Absolutely love it. Thank you very much. Simon with Dave, who we have in the chat tonight. And he said, this is his submission for August painting challenge. First up, he painted some Edge Grenadiers for Halfling's Force, and he used some of the Geek Gaming Scenics for the flowers and ground cover. Nice work, mate. And then he says, next up, he did a Javelin for 30k, which is this. And he said, lastly, I've got the Greedy Guts from Kings of War. And he says, I know what you're thinking. What does he have to do with the challenge? Well, in the lore, he's become addicted to the Halfling magic stew, so you can imagine a chap like him is pretty gusty. He says, cheers, and I look forward to the stream. Really love painting challenges. Thank you very much, mate. So yeah, really nice work. I do like these basin miners. I've not seen the these flowers from Geek Gaming. I'll have to check them out, mate. But love the colour choices. Really nice and clear. Looks nice. The bases really do set them off as well. Can't help think of sweets when I see them as well, though. Yeah, he does look like he might be a little bit on the windy side, mate, to be fair. But yeah, some beautiful work there. They really hang together nicely as well. That basin really does pull them together. And yeah, some lovely work on that as well, mate. I'm assuming, I was going to say that can't be freehand, surely. But yeah, some lovely transfers on there as well, setting them off. And so a good clean paint job there, mate. Excellent work. Next up, we have Mr. Colin Beale. And Colin says, so the emails have come, the photographs came through in different order, I think. So he's saying 11 models this month. 5 gargoyles from Alta Quest. Look at those giant wings. They're made from stone. Unless it's pumice, they won't be flying anywhere soon. Nice work, mate. I love the basin as well. Really does stand out nice. So they're all lovely. And then he said, Francesco the Devil. Let's have a little look. Which one's that? Is that? I don't think it's that him. Is it him? Could be him. Could be him. From Star Saga. I'm not really sure, mate. I tell you what. Let's just go through the models. So he's got a technical piece of scenery from Necromunda. And he says, I don't want to think about what gases might be coming out of the vent. He's got 3 GCPS flamer ranges from Star Saga, like the Devil, and finally an Oracle from Bad Squirrel Games. I'm sure it's windy up high on that rock, and the owl is called Gust. There you go. So, lovely colour choice, mate. Love the purple and green. Always looks nice together, mate. Really nice. Love this bit of basin as well. Really sets it off. Nice on the shoulders as well. Awesome work. This is you're right, mate. I'm sure there's some gases gusting up from that piece of terrain from Necromunda as well. Yellow and green again looks lovely together. Nice work on the kind of oiliness on the grates. These must be what they're called. These must be the GCBS flamer ranges as well. Nice work on them, mate. I do like this basin. Really does stand out nice. Nice work on the visors as well. I don't know why it's cutting the top off your minis, mate, but it seems to have cut them into squares. So I apologise if I've kind of chopped the heads off anything. So yeah, nice work, mate. Love those. And thank you very much for taking part again as well. Next up, Mr. Paul Taylor. And Paul's been painting some Infinity stuff. And he said, capes definitely look cooler when there's a gust of wind. And he said he's off on holiday early hours of Tuesday morning, so looking forward to watching everyone's entries on the replay in the air, or on the replay I should say, in the airport. So yes, these are the, oh, I'm going to forget the name of them now. These are Yuxing stuff? They could be. No, these are not Yuxing. These are Pano, aren't they? It's just because he's painted them orange. It threw me a bit. I'm sure these are Pano models. Looking really nice though. Love the I do like the Infinity minis. Pain in the backside to put together, but I do like the minis. Yeah, I think these are the ones from the Operation Karlstrom Code 1 set. I remember painting these myself. Really nice. Love the snow on the bases as well. Very, very nice, mate. Yeah, looking awesome, buddy. Thank you very much and enjoy your holiday, bud. Next up, Mr. Yoakum, who we've got in the chat tonight as well. And he said this is his contribution to the painting challenge. And he said, whilst I've got loads of stuff I could come alive with a little help from a gust, like a banner, a ship, some smoke and some capes. So his minis are, and I don't know whether the minis have come up in the right order or not, but he's got Kurdos Valentine, the Craven King, Alrak the Drowner, Spirit Torments, the Executioner, 2 Grimgas Reapers and 2 Glaive Wraith Stalkers. He said, welcome back, I'm looking forward to another live stream. Thank you very much, mate. So I don't know which order these are in, but they all look awesome, and that's what we're here to see. Beautiful colour choices with the shades of blue, mate. There's a real kind of sort of coldness to that, and I love the little banner there as well, blowing in the wind. Lovely work on that, mate. You can see it from the side as well. This is one thing GW do well, those kind of models that look top heavy, but actually they support themselves really well. You certainly wouldn't get these in metal these days, would you? Lovely work on the stone, and I really like the basin as well, mate. The basin can, because there's a lot of base on these, it's really easy for them to dominate the miniature, but doing that really kind of pale coloured basin helps to balance that out. Really nice against the model itself, and the dark blues really do pull it together. Awesome, mate. Wow, I'm not familiar with this model, but it looks really cool. Love what you've done with the kind of the spectral kind of stuff. Really nice. Again, the blue and light blues stands out, picking out those flowers as well. Looks really nice work, that, mate. Love that. Beautiful mini, that, and really, really nicely painted. I do like that. Here we've got some of the, is this the Spirit Torments, is it maybe this one? With a little noose hanging as well. Again, beautiful colour choices. They all look really nice together. I love the way that's kind of struck onto there, and the little flowers on the base with the skull look cool as well. And these must be the wraiths and stuff. Oh, this is the that might have been the execution of that one, I assume. And then this one might be the Spirit Torments. Love them with the keys and the locks and stuff. Nice bit of sort of blending as well, mate, from the darker blue to the lighter blue. Looks really nice. And these must be the Reapers, I'm guessing. Love them, mate. Love that red as well. That red really pulls it out. And then these must be the Glaive Wraith Stalkers. Awesome, mate. Some fantastic work there, mate. You really got through some stuff this month. Thank you very much for sharing. Next up, we've got something on a similar theme from Mr. Marcus Schneider, the Super Pumpkin Man there. And he said he's painted all Ghost, finishing my 3 Merman Banshees to go with the one I painted in March. So it took so much shading. I equally love and hate painting pale white ghosts now. Well, you've done a cracking job of it, mate. Love the redness of the roses, the flowers there on the ground. Lovely blending as well, from the really high whites down to the kind of murky greens. Really have come out well, mate. So it might have took you a while, but it's work well done, buddy. Excellent work. Lovely models these as well. I do like these. But yeah, awesome work. Love that kind of like that green blending into white. It looks awesome, man. And I like the kind of like the metallics as well of the kind of old armor floating about. Beautiful work, mate. Thank you very much for sharing. Stephen Hallowich is next, and Stephen has been painting, I believe that is a Halfling Rumble Slam team, the Lords of the Ring. He says, while only 2 have capes, all 5 are high flyers, using each other as turnbuckle to go flying across the ring. Awesome. He's got a cape on. It's getting a gust of wind there, mate. It counts. So yes, these are the Lords of the Ring, which is very pretty cool. Nice colours as well. Love the red and green together there, mate. Nice skin tones too. Looks more like Phantom of the Opera, this one. Yeah, it looks really good though. I do like the clear bases as well. I think I've mentioned that before. Nice work, mate. We'll just bring it up a little bit there. Awesome. The green really stands out as well against the red, and they look awesome as well as a team together. I do like those, mate. Nice work. I need to play more Rumble Slam. It is fun. And then last for this challenge, we've got Mr. Craig McCartney. And Craig has, if I can just get that message out of the way, Craig managed to sneak in under the door. I realised I've missed the deadline. I was pulling all the stuff together, mate, so I've still included you. He says, this is my beast of nature for Kings of War, converted from a Frostfang and the wings from an Archfiend of the Abyss, both by Mantic. I like the way you've kit bashed them together, mate. And he said, as well as being able to soar on the winds, it can be upgraded with Lightning Bolt, which I would imagine comes from its mouth. So it's a bit of a blowhard too. Cheers, Craig. Thank you for entering these, mate. And yeah, I love the conversion. I'm not familiar with these models, so I wouldn't have put together it was a conversion, but which is, I guess, is high praise anyway to say that I hadn't noticed. But you've definitely pulled them together really nicely, mate. I do recognise this model now, but I think the wings would have thrown me off. Lovely the colour choice as well, mate. Love the flowers on the basin. This green really pops and this blue looks good. The wings blend in lovely as well. I really do like the colour choices. Nice kind of shading and highlighting as well on the fur. And the wings look really good as well, mate. I always balls this kind of stuff up when it's such a big area. But you've nailed it there, mate, with those highlights and the kind of like the darker veins coming through them as well. Brilliant work, mate. Thank you very much. So that is this month's challenge. Done. Let's have a little look and see what we've got in the chat here. Everyone's just having a good chat, saying about some nice stuff. VJ saying Ash just posted a Rumble Slam bat rep. Nice one. Scott saying he needs to go to sleep, so he'll cast the Rex tomorrow. See you later, buddy. Thank you for joining in. And Blair saying, yeah, defo pinfall with a Rumble Slam. And everyone's saying excellent work. Yeah, Jess is saying love the variety of the minis again. Everyone had great work. It's always cool to see the variety. It's one of the reasons I enjoy doing these challenges. Is, as I've mentioned before, it's never about who's the best painter. It's never about who's the fastest painter or anything like that. It's about seeing the whole variety of different stuff out there. It's about seeing the kind of the real mix of kind of different minis that people like to paint, different painting styles, different techniques, and just seeing what people are up to really, and giving you that little nudge just to kind of get your paintbrush out and do a bit more work. So, what month are we up to? September. What is September's challenge going to be? So, September's challenge, I'll be honest, I forgot what I wrote down for it, and I haven't got my notes here. They're in the house, so I'm going to have to wing this one and do it off the top of my head. Oh, what the heck was it again? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to announce September's challenge tomorrow, because I've wrote it down, but it's in the house, so I haven't got it with us. So there is a September challenge. So if you're not taking part in the if you're not taking part in the Firefight challenge, there's still the monthly challenge. You can still do the Firefight challenge and the monthly challenges as well, so don't worry about that. But I will put out all of the details for the Facebook group for the Firefight challenge. I'll put all them details out tomorrow. So if you follow me on Instagram, I am BlackJack Legacy there. If you follow me on Twitter, I am BlackJack Legacy there. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can have a look in the community section. I'll put the details there. If you're a Patreon member, I'll put the details in the Patreon Discord chat. And if you're a member of my Facebook group as well, I'll put them in there. So I will try to get them in as many places as I can. So you should not miss them. But if anybody does kind of, for whatever reason, doesn't see them, I'll make sure that everybody, if you just send me a message or something, drop me a note, and I'll point you in the right direction. If for whatever reason the world is working against you and you don't get to see all those things. So Tony says it happens to us older folks. Jet says, is it forgotten stuff? Do you know what it is, mate? Why don't we have that as the challenge, right? The challenge is, here we go. Right, I've just come up with one now. The challenge is for September is I've forgotten, right? Or is forgotten, right? Forgotten is the challenge for September. And I want you to paint a model that you forgot that you even had. So everyone has a pile of shame, right? Or there might be a miniature that you meant to paint and you forgot to do it, or it's the last model in a box that you never got round to because you thought, I'll not play that or something. So the challenge for September is forgotten, okay? Let me write it down so I don't forget. There you go, and we'll keep the September challenge, the one I've wrote down in the house. We'll keep that for October. So yes, Forgotten is the September challenge. Something that you already own. I don't want you to go out and buy anything new. I want you to paint something that you've just forgotten about. It's been forgotten about on a shelf. It's been forgotten about because you didn't go around, you didn't get back to painting it. It's that miniature that you've always wanted to do and you could never think of the paint scheme for it or whatever it is. Forgotten. Simon Dave says, save that at the last minute. There you go, mate. Mark says, it's a challenge I can do but will forget. I forgot what it was. Honestly, I wrote something down today as well. I've got the theme and like my brain's going, what the hell did I write down again? But yes, get one of those loved but forgotten miniatures out of the box, out of your shelf, out of your pile of opportunity, shall we say. Just saying, what was it again? And Lord Maiden says, be prepared for some excuses. I'm sure I'll get loads of people saying, oh, I forgot to do the challenge. Yeah. Excuse me while I just give my little nose a little wipe. It's not a little nose, it's just giving it a little wipe. Oh. So that's the stuff for this month. I mean, we're not ending the stream here, but that's the stuff for this month's challenge. Everybody's stuff that's been submitted, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you supporting me and the channel by doing this kind of stuff, coming back and watching this. I appreciate these kind of like these live streams where we do the community stuff. They're not for everyone, they are for the community. Like, they tend to be the videos that get less views, but that's not what it's about. It's about having that community spirit, everybody pulling together, everybody sort of cheering each other on. That's what I'm trying to do with the Firefight challenge as well. It's not about who's the best painter, it's not about who can paint the most, it's not about who can paint 10 armies in a month kind of thing. It's about encouraging everybody to kind of just to kind of get done, get to the finish line, get it done. Where was this one? Lord Mince, I forgot about this mini that has been staring at me for 2 years. I've got plenty of forgotten stuff, mate. Type 40 Todd says, I dare someone to submit a plain base and say I forgot the challenge. I'll get loads of those now, mate. If anybody sends that, I am not putting that in. Vijay says, by the way, folks, Blitzball Ultimate Edition's out in September. Yeah, it's out some places, mate, yeah. Zingbo says, I prefer to call it a pile of potential. Pile of opportunity is pretty good, but has an unfortunate acronym. To be honest, I think everybody's got a pile of opportunity, mate. The acronym still stands. Mighty Dice says, challenge accepted. Thank you, sir. Blair says, I'd be able to do my World War II commandos I've had for 14 years. They definitely qualify as forgotten, mate. I'll give that one. And Clyde says, thank God, it isn't a paint 10 armies in a month challenge. That's the one I wrote down for next month, mate. Tony says, found it. Dwarf Queen of Mid-North from Confrontation. I forgot I had her, and a mini forgotten in the mists of time. VG says, pile of anxiety. That's what I have, mate. I can't have them on view. If I see all of my unpainted stuff, it just sends me to a point where I go, I don't want to paint that stuff. And Jez says, this has been a great stream. It's been well interesting and good lively stuff. I'm glad, mate, because I'm feeling a bit under the weather tonight. So I was thinking, I was even saying to my missus, I was saying, like, I feel bad, like I've been missing for 2 weeks and I'm feeling a bit under the weather kind of thing, a bit bunged up, and I want to try and keep it high energy. I want to make sure it's still enjoyable for folks. So I'm glad you've enjoyed it, mate. We've had some good numbers tonight. We've had, like, you know, for these kind of channels, for these kind of challenge videos. So yeah, I'm all right. That's kind of as long as people have had a good time, that's always good. Type 40 Tortoise. Oh, excuse me, I need a drink. My throat's dry as sticks. I think my challenge is going to be just the fact that I think I've forgotten to pick a brush up for about 2 months. Type 40 Tortoise says, 10 armies painted in a month. Challenge accepted. Then Simon Days, I built a bolt action army and never painted it like 4 years ago. Time to dig some of those out. That will be good, mate. And Vinny saying, yeah, good comeback for the live streams. Just need some bacon chat. And I think we've covered all bases. I have not had a bacon sandwich for about a month now. And I have not had a cup of coffee for about 3 weeks now, which is unheard of. I'll be honest, it's been unheard of. I've been trying to keep off the coffee. I've been drinking quite a lot of iced tea lately. I've found the joys of iced tea. So while I was away, it was absolutely boiling when I was away on holiday. It was like 40 degrees, 42 degrees for the first few days. And then it never really dropped below about 33, 34 for the rest of the fortnight. So it's been a bit hot. So I've been, I've drunk quite a lot of beer as well and some cocktails. But I drank quite a lot of iced tea while I've been away. I managed to keep the weight off. I wasn't really kind of eating too much. I had some lovely steaks. I had some really nice kind of wood-fired pizza while I was away as well. I had a few really nice sirloin steaks. What else did I have that was quite tasty? I had some amazing paella. Absolutely beautiful paella as well while I was away. Did I have anything else that was kind of nice? I had a couple of like breakfasts that were just like, you know, like some ham and cheese kind of continental stuff, some nice little healthy bits, bit of muesli and stuff. So yeah, I've been VG saying some iced teas have as much sugar as Coke. Yeah, they do, mate. I've been drinking the sugar-free ones, to be fair. I did know that in advance. Make sure that it doesn't have too much sugar in it. That's right. Type 40 TARDIS saying I have a few Mythos boxes I forgot about. Clyde saying, goodness, I need 10 cc's of bacon and coffee. Stat. I've intentionally been trying to keep off the coffee, mate. I was drinking a lot of coffee, to be fair, and more just purely from a health perspective, really, because it's got a lot of milk in it. So even when I'm drinking when I'm drinking like lattes, like with like skinny lattes, I'm still drinking like a lot of milk, and I was trying to kind of like cut back on my dairy stuff a little bit. So yeah, I managed to kind of I came home the same weight I was when I went away, so that was all right. And then I've got another trip planned in October. So excuse me, I've got a bit of a lads holiday away for a long weekend, going away on a Friday and coming back on a Monday in October, which I was invited to with some friends. So I've got about a month to just try and keep healthy, really try and lose a little bit of weight. I'm trying to keep off the booze for a month, I think. Try and eat healthy, move a bit more, that kind of stuff. Little lad goes back to school next week, so we'll be like walking to school in the morning and walking to pick him up again. Trying to get some exercise in. I was hoping to kind of make a start when I got back, but like I say, I'd been absolutely fine while I've been away on holiday. I was sitting on the plane flying back on Friday, and my nose started to run. And then ever since then, I've had a bit of a cold. So yes. I want to kind of get over this and get back on the health wagon a bit. Lord Main saying models picked. I forgot I put them into paint, and then Andy announced the previous challenge. Jesse, I think we know why you're ill, dude. You need vitamin coffee and bacon sarnie drip. You might not be wrong, mate. That's maybe what it is. Although to be fair, maybe my body's rejecting the fact that I haven't had alcohol for like 3 days. I wasn't drinking a lot on holiday, but I was drinking regularly. So like some nights I might only have like say like one beer or something, like with dinner on a night time or something like that. And then there was the night when we went out to watch the boxing. I definitely had more than one. And there was a Sunderland game on Sky. I went to the pub to watch the Sunderland game, and I had quite a few beers that night as well. So Ian says, although I forgot which one are Frostgrave and which one's a Ghost Archipelago, I'm not familiar with the difference, mate, if I'm honest. VG says, I made myself bacon and egg McMuffins last cheat day. I've been getting back to my diet and running again. Now things are starting to warm up over here. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, we've had some pretty decent weather for quite some time now, which is unheard of, really. But it has made it a lot easier to get out and kind of go for a bit of a walk and stuff and enjoy the sunshine. Like Saturday, I sat outside with my laptop doing some work and just sat outside working, which was like, it was really nice. Kind of hard to see the screen sometimes with the sun on it, but it was nice just sitting out, getting a bit of sun on my skin, and just especially after coming back from holiday, because for all it was cooler when we got back, it was still like sort of mid-20s, which was nice. Vinci says, I can vouch that a lad's night out with Andy is a good time. Thank you, mate. Yeah, we're actually off to Benidorm, mate, for 3 nights, I think it is, Friday through to Monday. So, yeah, I think there's 6 of us going in total. I might even be the youngest, to be fair. So it's not exactly like kind of like young lads going away. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've not been for, God, about 6 years, or it must be, or something, since I was last there. So yeah, it'll be good. Simon Davis saying, cheers for the stream. You are welcome, mate. Lord Main says, Frostgrave is fantasy in the cold. Ghost Archipelago is ships and tropical weather. Both similar games by the same person. I'm aware of the games, mate, but I don't think I really know like the miniatures. Like if I saw a miniature, I would never know it was a Frostgrave miniature or anything like that. I'm not that familiar with the miniatures range from. Are they from North Star? Have I got that right? Coffee says, I'm off. First stream I caught. Thanks for being welcoming, everyone. You are very welcome, Coffee, and thank you very much for your support as well. And Tony says, let's see some more people show their love and hit the like button. How we doing? We've got 70 likes. Can we push? I don't know whether there's 20 people in the chat having to hit the like button. If we can hit that up to 90, I would appreciate it. Let's see if there's 20 people left in the chat who haven't pressed like yet. There's one. Go on, you can. Let's just squeeze that a little bit more and see what we've got. Yeah, Tony's saying, yeah, thanks, Coffee. Good to see you in the stream. It is good to see folks in the stream. And Clyde's saying, yeah, it was North Star. Ian's saying yes as well. Good stuff. So what's everybody excited about at the minute? I mean, I must admit, I'm completely out of touch with the GW stuff. I'm kind of a bit out of touch with a lot of stuff. I've intentionally, for the last 2 weeks, not been looking online, not looking to see kind of like hobby stuff. I've not done a bad job, I'll be honest, of like kind of having a proper break. But I do feel a little bit out of the loop. So it's going to take me a few days to kind of to get back up to speed. So yeah, what's people looking for at the minute? What's people excited about? What have you seen? VJ saying need to get build his mojo on his 2 Conflict 47 starters and a Night Stalker mega army to build. You've got plenty on your plate, haven't you? Ian saying he has to update his personal hobby goals as the Spellcrow minis was a goal. Well done, mate. Good to get something ticked off. Ed saying Kill Team Into the Dark has his full attention. I saw that was it's coming this weekend, I think, isn't it? 130 quid. I think I saw a deal that's going to be. I'm not familiar what's in the box, whether that's a good price, a bad price, or whatever. I haven't really been staying that close to that kind of stuff. But I think I saw that was 130 quid. Mighty Day says, I'm excited for starting a gaming club. Fantastic, mate. Where's your gaming club going to be? Whereabouts are you located? And what's your plans for it? Clyde says he's still working on his Malifaux reses. I'm completely out of the loop. I also recently nabbed some ancient 1/1200th scale Greek ships. Fantastic, mate. Mark's got 2 500.40k armies to paint. I'm assuming it must be Necrons and Marines, isn't it, mate? Super Pumpkin Man says he's watched all Sandman on Netflix, which was great, and She-Hulk's been fun. I've watched the She-Hulk episodes, mate. I watched them when I got back this weekend. So I'm up to speed on She-Hulk. I've not seen any of Sandman yet. I actually went back to bed for an hour this afternoon because I was feeling a bit run down and I wanted to have a little snooze. And I actually lay in bed and watched Day Shift, the Netflix film with Jamie Foxx, which I quite enjoyed. Actually, that was all right. Yeah, I've not watched any TV for a few weeks. I've not kind of been watching any movies or anything like that. I've been doing a bit of reading. I actually read a book while I was on holiday, believe it or not. I read a book by, what's it called again? Linwood Barkley, which is kind of like a crime author. My wife had read it, and then I decided to just read it after she'd finished with it. So I actually read a book while I was away. I've been listening to a book on Audible as well. And so yeah, I've been listening to that as well. VJ saying he got his fingers covered in glue last night building Bushido's starter. Made me remember why I much prefer building with plastic cement. Yeah, I started last night building a little bit of some of the Malifaux stuff actually. That these guys started building these get that out of focus. These juggernauts. So I've built one of those up, and yeah, it was quite nice going back. It was quite nice going back to plastic glue. Let's have a look. Ed's saying, yeah, £130, less than I expected. Yeah, like I say, mate, I'm not familiar what's in the box, so I don't know whether that's value or not, but if you're happy, mate, that's only be a good thing. Ian's saying I have to play Umbra Turris. Which is Spellcrow, paint up Ark World, try out AOS, and then meet Andy in person, tell him he's a good boy. You're even going to lie to me, mate. like a dog. Good boy. He's gearing up for Halloween there as well. Super Pumpkin Man says. Busey saying, hello Busey, by the way. He said, I was in Benidorm this Saturday with the parents, catching up with their old friends. Something for everyone there. I like it. It was one of those places, mate, where I was always kind of put off the place. Like everyone saying, it's just like, it's just Blackpool with sunshine kind of thing. But I always quite like Blackpool. So it was never that bad. But I was taken there on my stag do when I got married. My brother-in-law was my best man, and he booked a surprise. I knew I was going away for my stag do, but it was a surprise where I was going. I didn't know where I was going, so I got to the airport and then found out I was going to Benidorm. And I must admit, I was thinking, oh, this could be a bit messy. But actually, when we got there, we had a really, really good time. And then about 3 or 4 months later, one of my friends was having his 40th birthday, and he said, oh, I'm going to Benidorm for my 40th. Do you want to come? Me and like a load of my mates. So I went back again a second time, and it was really good fun. We found a load of different bars that we didn't find when we were there the first time. Weather was fantastic, beer's cheap, that kind of thing. It was just a good kind of sort of, I wouldn't say chilled because a lot of beer was consumed, but it was a good holiday. I had a good time with the lads, kind of thing. And especially when you're a bit older, like we're not going for like kind of like fancy nightclub type things. We're going for a bit of a laugh and a like kind of a bit of a boozy weekend. So then one of the guys that came with me is a guy actually who used to be my boss many years ago. He's a friend of mine, and he said, I'm planning a trip to Benidorm. I'm keeping the numbers quite low. There's only going to be 6 of us. Do you want to come? And I was like, yeah, go on then, I'll come along. Tag there to sort of put me in. So that's the plan. So fly on the Friday morning from Newcastle and get back from Alicante on the Monday afternoon. So that's the plan. Mark says, yeah, recruit and elite boxers. Don't ask. Jess says he's still painting slaying stuff. He's got some bits from Annie at Bad Squiddo, including one of those Dungeons and Lasers dragons. It's kind of cool. They're not bad, them, mate. I built one on a stream a while ago. Yeah, they're not bad at all. Tony's saying there's not much that's getting my juices flowing at the moment, though I admit that the Warhammer Underworld's witch hunters are of interest. I remember seeing them a while ago, mate, and I must admit they did look nice models. It's a kind of box I would buy just to paint for fun, kind of thing. Although, to be fair, I've got all of the stuff from what's it called again? Is it here? Is it in the other room? Curse City, that's what I was trying to remember the name of. But I don't really want to paint like one model, because if I end up selling it on, like at least they're all in the same condition, kind of thing. So I've intentionally not been painting them really, even the ones that I really like. Ed says, yeah, Kill Team Annual's on its way, brings back the Star Striders and Galloppox. Oh, I think I have seen that online, mate. So the stuff from the old Kill Team Rogue Trader box, isn't it? VJ says, I hope She-Hulk gets a little more depth. I'm finding it a little shallow so far. I'm quite enjoying it, mate. I think it's quite light-hearted. It doesn't need to be too deep. I think it's nice just to have something that's not kind of overly sort of thought through. I think what we've seen so far is we've seen like the backstory, and then we've seen kind of like the introduction of like how she's now working for this like law company, this law firm that is basically defending superheroes type things, or super villains as it may be. So I feel like it's kind of we're just getting the story started. I don't know how many episodes is in this series, but it feels like we've had like basically we've just touched the surface at the minute. Ian says a new Dune game got announced, and Hideo Kojima is making a new podcast. Am I right in thinking Hideo Kojima doesn't speak English? Or have I imagined that? I was going to say that might be a difficult listen. Jess is working with a costume designer of Sandman at the moment. Nice one, mate. Awesome work. Mark saying She-Hulk is fun but feels rushed in parts. I'm quite enjoying it, mate. I'll be honest, I'm easily pleased. I quite like a little bit of popcorn, switch your brain off stuff. Blaze is going to do some nulls for Beastman Force for one-page rules. Almighty Dice says, Hartlepool, so you're not too far away, mate. It says the intention is to use wargaming to support mental health, along with growing the gaming community in the area. Awesome stuff, mate. Let me know if I can help in any way, mate. It's always good to see kind of a bit of mental health support as well, especially being there in the northeast. So let me know if there's anything I can do to kind of give it a little shout or anything like that when you get set up. Super Pumpkin Man says he's been rereading The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings book since Power of the Rings trailer pissed him off. I've not watched any of that stuff. Or certainly I've not watched the new Game of Thrones thing, whatever it's called. Is it something House of Dragons? I've not watched that yet either. He is saying that was the original goal. And VJ says, although it's not an Aussie thing, I think we'll be going all in on Halloween this year. The little guy's pretty excited. We've got the little lad's birthday coming up at the end of September, so we're kind of planning for that at the moment. Halloween's not even been mentioned, I think, in our house. Ed's saying the box has a shed ton of stuff 2 decent teams and arena, but with actual walls. I did see the walls thing. Am I right in thinking that they're going to release like a few sets that have like more walls in to build up a bigger set, or have I imagined that whole thing? VG saying he's keen for the new Rings of Power show. New Game of Thrones has been okay, but nothing amazing. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan, so I'm not fussed about watching the Rings of Power stuff. And I never got to the end of Game of Thrones, to be fair, either, so I've intentionally not started watching that one, because I know it's a prequel type thing, I think, isn't it? But to be fair, I feel like I should at least finish Game of Thrones before I go back and watch a prequel stuff. VG saying he's picking up a new car today, trading the Corolla in for something higher and more soccer mum. Nice one. Colin said, have you watched The Boys on Amazon? I've watched the first series, mate. I started watching the second series and couldn't really get into it. And me and my wife went back recently and restarted to try and watch the second series. And I'm probably third of the way through the first series. And I'm enjoying it, but we've never really, with holidays and stuff, we've gotten out of watching it. We're kind of midway through a number of different shows at the minute. We've been watching Ozark. We went back and started watching that because that was another thing that we just got out of watching. What else am I watching at the minute? I still haven't watched Stranger Things, like the last 2, maybe 3 seasons. I don't think I've watched of that. There's a load of stuff really that I should. I just don't seem to have the time, mate. There always seems to be something else. Mighty Dice says, cheers, mate. I might hold you that. Absolutely, mate. Don't be shy in asking, mate. And Ed says that's what they do. That's what they said they're doing. Yes, each box will be a new section of the Space Hulk. Interesting. I thought I'd seen a picture or I'd seen somebody talking about it, but I wasn't sure. You know what? I'm a bit out the loop, and I feel like it's been that long ago that I actually I could have imagined the whole thing. Anyway, folks, I am struggling to breathe now. So I think what we'll Jen says you've seen the good bits of Game of Thrones. I don't think I have, mate. I think I ended up not watching them from about, have I only seen up to about season 3 or something like that? Like, I know everybody talks about the Red Wedding and all that kind of stuff. I've not seen that, so I didn't even get that far. I can't even think. I've certainly not seen any dragons yet, I don't think. So yeah, I think there's still some good bits I haven't seen yet. But yeah, I'm struggling to breathe a bit now. So we'll call it a night. Remember, tomorrow I'll put all the details up about the Firefight Slow Grow. There's going to be a ton of Firefight content coming. There will be other content as well, so don't worry. It's just that I'll be making a point every month of making sure there's some Firefight content to support the Slow Grow campaign. But if Firefight's not your thing, there will be other stuff coming as well. Don't forget, if you're $5 and above Patreon supporter, there'll be a new podcast coming as well at the start of the month. And for everyone else, thank you very much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, folks.